Men aren't struggling, they're done. Quietly, calmly, and without announcing it to anyone, men are checking out of anything that drains them, not because they're weak, but because they're disgusted. Disgusted with being the fixer, the backbone, the provider, and getting zero respect in return. Disgusted with being told to man up, while everyone else is handed sympathy for simply existing. A man can carry the world on his shoulders, but the moment he realizes his effort is taken for granted, something inside him hardens. He stops offering. He goes cold. He disconnects. Men don't scream or break down. They shut down. They walk out of places where they feel invisible, unwanted, or unappreciated, and they never look back. This is the era of the male autopilot, the man who works, performs, and provides, while inside he's numb, empty, and silent, because deep down he knows the brutal truth. Nobody is coming to save him, and nobody even notices he needs saving. So he withdraws, not just from dating, but from anything and anyone that treats his presence like a guarantee. And today, the world is finally starting to feel the weight of his absence. Picture this. You're 35 years old, sitting alone in your car after another relationship slips through your fingers. The engine is off. The world is quiet, and you're replaying every moment wondering what went wrong. You gave her everything. Your time, your patience, your energy, your heart. You weren't just a good partner. You were devoted, consistent, reliable. You thought doing everything right would guarantee the right outcome. But here you are, again, asking the same silent question men whisper to themselves after heartbreak. Why wasn't I enough? If this feels familiar, you're not alone. Millions of men experience this exact moment, this heavy, quiet realization that somewhere, somehow, they missed something crucial. They weren't dumb, they weren't weak, they weren't villains, they were uninformed. And the truth is this: most men learn the hardest lessons about relationships far too late. Not because they're flawed, but because nobody teaches men how attraction, connection, and relational dynamics truly work. Today, we're going to change that. Today, we're going to walk through the harsh realities most men only understand after years of confusion, emotional damage, and silent suffering. These aren't comforting truths. These aren't polished, feel-good quotes. These are the lessons that rebuild men from the ground up. The first reality is this: people don't respond to who you are. They respond to what you project. Most men lead with service. They lead with kindness. They lead with availability. They lead with effort. And while those things matter, they aren't what create attraction or respect. Men often present themselves as the complete package by overgiving, thinking loyalty, devotion, and generosity automatically translate into desire. But relationships don't work on transactions. They work on psychological signals, and the signal most men unconsciously send is, "I'll do anything for you, just don't leave." That mindset doesn't build attraction. It builds dependency. It builds imbalance. It builds quiet resentment. It builds a dynamic where your value feels negotiable. The truth is, people, men and women, read you within minutes. They categorize you based on the energy you bring. Are you confident or uncertain? Grounded or reactive? Purpose-driven or approval-seeking? Clear or confused? Most men aren't rejected because they're unworthy. They're rejected because their energy communicates they don't fully value themselves. The next harsh reality: you can be a good man and still be the wrong partner. Good men assume their goodness guarantees loyalty, but attraction isn't a moral system. It isn't a reward for effort. It's a response to strength, clarity, presence, and purpose. Men often become overly available because they believe consistency equals security. But when consistency becomes predictability, when predictability becomes stagnation, the relationship loses tension, and without tension, there is no attraction. The third truth: Trying to be everything for someone leaves nothing for yourself. Many men fall into the trap of overfunctioning. They become the planner, the emotional anchor, the helper, the fixer. They anticipate needs, solve problems, and carry emotional weight that isn't theirs. But when you erase your boundaries, you also erase your identity. At first, this feels comforting to your partner, but over time, it becomes suffocating, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing too much. A relationship isn't built on sacrifice alone. It's built on exchange. When you give endlessly, you aren't creating connection. You're creating an unspoken expectation that you don't matter as much as they do, and no one respects someone who treats themselves as optional. The fourth truth: vulnerability is strength, but neediness is not. Men are often told to open up, share more, express feelings, be emotionally available, and yes, emotional openness is powerful, but emotional dumping, overdependence, or using vulnerability to seek reassurance creates pressure, not closeness. People want to connect with your truth, not carry your wounds. Healthy vulnerability is, this is what I feel. Unhealthy vulnerability is, fix what I feel. Men often cross this line without realizing it, hoping emotional transparency will deepen the bond. Instead, it often overwhelms the dynamic. You can share your world, but you can't expect someone else to hold it for you. The fifth truth: the version of you that attracted someone must continue to grow to keep them. Attraction is not a one-time achievement. It's not locked in the moment someone chooses you. It's sustained through presence, purpose, and direction. If you lose your ambition, discipline, or drive, attraction shifts, not because your partner is shallow, but because direction is magnetic. A man without a sense of direction doesn't lose partners because he's unlovable. He loses them because he stops being someone they can grow with. The sixth truth: people test your boundaries, consciously or not, to understand who you are. These tests aren't always malicious. They're informational. They reveal your self-respect. They reveal your emotional steadiness. They reveal your identity. When someone pushes a boundary and you fold, they learn you can be bent. When someone disregards your needs and you stay, they learn your needs aren't real. When someone behaves carelessly and you accept it, they learn you don't hold standards. And respect fades piece by piece, not in explosions, but in quiet withdrawals. The seventh truth: attention is not love. Effort is not love. Sacrifice is not love. Love is connection, and connection requires two whole people, not one giver and one taker, not one pursuer and one acceptor, not one compensating for both. People can enjoy your attention and still not choose you. People can appreciate your effort and still not feel desire. People can value your support and still not see you as their future. It's not cruelty, it's compatibility. And the hardest lesson a man must learn is this: you cannot make someone feel for you what they do not feel. No matter how perfect you are, no matter how consistent, loving, generous, or patient you are, you cannot manufacture desire in someone whose heart isn't aligned with yours. The eighth truth: your value isn't measured by who chooses you. Your value is measured by who you become. When you build your life around seeking validation, you lose yourself. When you anchor your identity to relationships, you crumble when they do. When you invest everything into someone else while neglecting your own growth, you end up emotionally bankrupt. The relationship ends, and you're left with nothing because you built everything on them instead of on yourself. The ninth truth: your peace, not your partner, determines the quality of your relationships. The calmer you are, the clearer you think. The clearer you think, the better you choose. The better you choose, the less you bleed. Peace is power. Reactivity is weakness. And most relationships fall apart, not because love wasn't present, but because emotional chaos drowned it. Last truth, the man who survives heartbreak is not the man who avoids pain. It's the man who learns from it. The man who rises from failed relationships is the man who stops blaming himself and starts rebuilding himself. The man who grows is the man who chooses accountability instead of anger, growth instead of guilt, clarity instead of chaos. You are not broken because someone left. You are not unworthy because someone lost interest. You are not a failure because love didn't work out. You are simply a man in transition. And every man who becomes strong, grounded, and unshakable went through the same valley. The question is, will you stay here or will you rise? Because the truth is this: heartbreak is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your transformation. Stand up, collect yourself, reclaim your identity, fix your posture, rebuild your standards, protect your peace, and become the man who no longer loses himself in relationships, but leads himself through them. This isn't about becoming colder. This is about becoming clearer. This isn't about loving less. This is about loving smarter. This isn't about rejecting connection. This is about entering it with strength instead of desperation. You don't need to become harder. You need to become wiser. And wisdom begins the moment you stop asking, "Why wasn't I enough?" and start saying, "Who am I becoming now?" Your life, your relationships, your future, they don't change when someone chooses you.